the Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside Alton Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator, and my co-host, who I suspect is going to become more and more regular. He's going to become a daily staple of this program very soon, But I can speak for him whenever he comes. I appreciate it. We're at the start of another week. Today is Monday, the 21st day of the month of October 2024. All right, someone is calling me right now. I remember him. But I can tell you, Wiseman, unless you want to talk live on air, I am already doing the program. So, if you want to say something live on air.
Oh, no, well, I wouldn't want to go there. One thing that I would have said, but it's okay. We'll talk about the how you call that, the convention and things like that.
Yes. Okay, all right. Okay, meza fe modo on air. Moi ha commencer programme là. All right, okay. So nous ka parler avant meza fe modo. Vous son nous connaître nos choses à faire moi, OK? Oui, say teach moi qui là. Okay. All right, folks, this gentleman, his name is Julius Boulogne. He is from the PI area, PI Balambush area side. And Wiseman was once, for a long time, the chairperson of the Schwozel Saltibus. Well, sometimes it was Schwozel Labri Saltibus, then the other time it was Schwozel Saltibus. He was the chairperson of the constituency branch of the St. Lucia Labour Party for Schwozel, okay? Schwozel, which involved PI, which involved Saltibus and so on right now. He's a contractor, building contractor, and I think because of more promising and immediate job opportunities, Wiseman has been working in Dominica. Of course, he doesn't have any little children to worry about, so he's been in Dominica doing his building contracting work. And from time to time, he gives me a call and not realizing that I was really on it. So big up to, Wiseman, a good soldier, good friend, solid man, steady for a long time, kind of that person who gives you the sense of stability in the things that you support and you believe in. Let me say good afternoon to Comrade Terence Fenelon, who's joined me again. And as I like to use the phrase, he's always chomping at the bit. And with the annual conference of delegates of the St. Lucia Labour Party, I think the 74th yes. Annual conference of delegates of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party held in one of its two, we might say, stronghold constituencies that since these constituencies were formed or carved out, they have never voted for any other party or candidate other than the St. Lucia Labour Party, Labrie and Vieux-Fort North. And so that conference of delegates was held yesterday in the constituency of Vieux-Fort North, which is represented in the parliament, since 2006. You do the math on that one. By the party's chairman, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, and there was a special guest who really brought it home in terms of the message and so on, and the political leader. So I'll leave that for Comrade Terence Fenelon to speak about in a short while. But let me just say something. There seems to be a little confusion about Vieux-Fort South in terms of how long it has been in the camp of the Labour Party. It has not been continuously in the camp of the Labour Party since that constituency was carved out, also in 1974. You had Vieux-Fort, you had as one constituency, you had Dennery as one constituency, Micoud. There was a time it was actually Micoud Dennery, they were one constituency. But around 1974 approaching, the constituencies were split up. So you began to have Vieux-Fort North, Vieux-Fort South, you began to have Dennery North, Dennery South, Micoud North, Micoud South, and so on. But let me tell you in terms of Vieux-Fort. For the first time that constituency went into an election, the fight was between William Bruce Williams of the St. Lucia Labour Party. We've spoken about him before. He's deceased, as is the opponent, Henry Girodi of the United Workers' Party. And that was an election which was the source of some controversy. It inspired a whole book by Rick Wayne called It'll Be All Right in the Morning, where it is said that in the evening when the votes were being counted, or when the votes were tallied the night of the election, Bruce Williams was leading by some votes. And so it was thought that, he was going to win the seat. But by the next morning, on the recount, Henry Giraudy had eclipsed Bruce Williams by, I think, single digits, by about 6 votes or whatever. And it is said that there was a returning officer who was heard on the telephone, it is believed, speaking with Henry Giraudy and assuring him that it would be all right in the morning. Things would be fixed. I mean, that inspired. Sometime in 1987, it was said that the same thing was attempted on a Labour Party candidate for ancillary candidates called George Regis, where, it seemed like he was leading and then he was being beaten by about the same 6 votes or whatever. But the final count and when things were contested and so on, he won the seat, okay? So it was said that this was going to be tried on George Regis, but apparently it didn't quite work out. But let me tell you, from 74 to 79, Henry Giraudy was the elected member of parliament for Vieux-Fort South. Then in the 79 elections, Bruce Williams won. There was absolutely hands down, no dispute about this one. Bruce Williams won, Henry Giraudy lost. There was no contest in that one. The same way Boswell Williams won the seat for the Labour Party in 1974, he did not run again. It's not he was beaten. He did not run again in 1979. A newcomer, a young man called Cecil Lay, ran that seat and never looked back, never lost, until he decided to step down, to retire, whatever you want to call it, in 2006. He did not contest the elections in 2006. And a young man, a school principal called Moses Jean-Baptiste, contested the seat in 2006, and he too has never looked back. So the history of Vieux-Fort North is that there has never been any other representative than a candidate of the St. Lucia Labour Party. As to why Boswell Williams did not run again in 79 is anybody's guess, but he subsequently became St. Lucia's Governor General. Not overnight, not immediately, but many people suggest that he knew the Labour Party was going to win and he was going to become Governor General, so why run again and then have to resign by election? And it doesn't look good, the optics doesn't look good for you to move straight from being a minister into the office. So Boswell Williams became St. Lucia's Governor General. But let's go to Vieux-Fort South. And I just want to clear that before Comrade Fenelon comes in. Henry Giraudy won the seat and was the MP for 5 years. Bruce Williams won in 79, but we know the Labour Party prematurely caved in, crashed in 1982. So Bruce Williams was only the MP for 2.5 years. He did not run again. And let me tell you the story. Peter Josie moved from Castries East, where he had twice, easily, handily, without breaking a sweat, defeated the UWP's candidate. I think for 79, it was Romanus Lancico. I don't know if it had been somebody else before. But Peter Josie first won the seat in 1974. For the Labour Party, he won it easily again in 1982. But in 1982, for the elections there, Josie became, for a short while, the political leader of the SLP. And so he decided that he was going to go down to Vieux-Fort and do battle there. To this day, a lot of the elder statesmen and analysts in the party said Josie cost the Labour Party 2 seats. That had he stayed in Castries East, he could still, despite all the power struggle and Odlum, Louisi faction and all, they believe Josie could still have pulled it off. And that Lancico would never have seen the light of day if Josie had stayed there. That's debatable. I have my doubts about that. But in any case, he left and he went down to Vieux-Fort to contest the seat there, and he was beaten by a newcomer called Eldred Stevens. In fact, Eldred Stevens was an employee of Liat at Iwanora International Airport. Eldred Stevens never sought, was never interested in any ministerial appointment. Eldred Stevens remained as a backbencher and the MP, and I think because of that, of his backbench position, he was for some time the deputy speaker. All right, so Eldred Stevens became the MP from 1982 for a single term to 1987. All right, so let us just face it, these are the only 2 periods in which Vieux-Fort South was represented by anybody other than a candidate of the Labour Party. And I'll explain that to you. Peter Josie won that seat in 1987, the next election, and he won it twice, because remember there were 2 elections, okay, in 1987. I remember the 2 elections in 30 days of each other and so on. Beginning of April, end of April, whatever it was, 30th of
whatever, 2nd of April, 30th of April, whatever it was, and so on. But Peter Josie won twice. He beat Eldred Stevens the first time, and I don't think Eldred ran in the second election. I can't really remember who it was. Does it make sense? Josie blew the person away on 2 occasions as part of the Labour Party, not yet under the leadership of Julian Hunt, led at the time by Neville Snack. All right? No, I'm wrong about that. Neville Snack became leader after the 82 elections. But by then, in 87, Julian Hunt had emerged as the leader of the Labour Party. So Josie won that seat in 1987 twice, and he won it again in 1992 on both occasions, or on all 3 occasions. He won them on the ticket of the St. Lucia Labour Party. He was a candidate. So never mind that the very next year, all right, the very next year, 1993, Josie fell out with Julian Hunt, and I think that was as a result of him challenging for the leadership at a convention in Labrie, where some very sharp words were spoken and exchanged, all unnecessary and so on. And Peter Josie fell out with the Labour Party. I remember I was working for Julian Hunt at the time. Josie stopped attending all executive meetings that were mostly being held at the office of the leader of the opposition. He would come up in person, collect correspondence that was there for him, but he would never attend any meetings. But Josie won that seat 3 times in the 2 elections of 87 and the next election of 92 on the ticket of the Labour Party. So we have to consider the period from 1987 to 1992, that while the seat was not represented actively by the person who won it for the Labour Party in Parliament, it was Labour that won the seat. So you have to put it in the column of Labour that seat, it is only for 7.5 years that seat was not represented. The Henry Girodi period from 74 to 79, all right? And the Eldred Stevens, well, not 7.5 years, it was for 10 years, okay? The Eldred Stevens period from 82 to 87. So these 2 terms were Flabo representatives. But apart from that, 79 to 82, okay? 87 to 92, and every time beyond that, because from 92 to 97, Kenny Anthony came in, and that seat has been represented by the Labour Party for the past 50 years, for all but 10 of those 50 years. So we can say about 40 years. And certainly from 1997 until now, which we are talking about 27 years, that seat has been continuously represented by the St. Lucia Labour Party. So if we are to look at for the Labour ticket, Vieux-Fort South has been represented by a Labour Party candidate continuously. Not from 1997, from 1987 when Peter Josie won it. So if we're talking about 27 years, we have to add 10, that's 37. Okay, like I said, Josie fell out with the Labour Party, so in the Parliament he was more focused on attacking Julian Hunt. He was never a member of the UWP cabinet and so on. So there's no need to be confused about it. It's only for 2 terms since 1974 that seat has not been represented by Labour. Even when we take the Josie fallout, the 3 occasions that he won the seat, twice in 1 month in 1987 and once in 1997, he won them every time from the ticket of the Labour Party. Anytime he tried any other ticket, he never won again. He never sat in the Parliament. He never saw the light of day. He never smelled a whiff of a victory again after his fallout with the Labour Party. It's like his political fortunes became 0 and below 0 after that. So I just wanted to let that be. Comrade Friend, sorry about that, but
that's great stuff.
Like I said, I seem to see some confusion about what really.
And there was a debate raging on there, which I think you have put paid to. You have brought clarity to the whole situation.
Indeed.
Shelton is the day after.
The day after. The morning after.
The morning after.
When it is all right.
All right. I must tell you this drive to Bellevue. Or how you pronounce it? Bellevue.
Bellevue.
Very careful.
I find there's too much mispronunciation of St. Lucian community names. There might be a Bellevue up in Grosile, I think, some development or whatever. But there's Bellevue in Choiseul. There's Bellevue in Micoud North and so on. These are you don't pronounce them as view, just like Diga. There's too many people now saying Duga. It's Diga. There's Diga in Choiseul. There's Diga in Micoud and so on. Right. And I just find too many of those mispronounced. While we are so careful to pronounce the American names properly, and Edinburgh, you know, you go and say Edinburgh and somebody will laugh at you, you know, it's not Edinburgh, it's Edinburgh, you know, and when you look at the thing, that's what it's supposed to be. But you know, too many of our people, especially media people, news people, they do not take time to properly familiarize themselves with the correct pronunciation of
but
name.
it was a lovely drive, very scenic.
Yes.
Well, those are familiar, you know, we don't go that side too often. One time I thought, man, this would never end, man. I'm on my way to St. Vincent or something. But it was nice. I met some great folk. You know, at these conventions, these conferences, you meet people that you have not seen in years, and then you get to speak in. But yesterday we were served a gourmet meal, man.
Oh, really? Okay. Tell me about it.
It was fine dining.
Tell me about it.
And I'm sure the listeners and the viewers, you'll get a chance to call in, because those of you who were there, I think the diet was just right. It was lobster and caviar, man. Steak and there was lobster, caviar, steak, and you know.
Lobster is a good choice.
Sometimes
it's a good choice of analogy because of the redness of it when it is cooked.
You know, steak and you know, it was fine dining, man. Yes. I'm telling you, man, I was really immersed, man. You know, now unfortunately I could not stay inside, so I was out, you know, socializing and trying to take notes at the same time. You know, but one thing I must tell you, when the elder statesman came in, that's Dr. Anthony, man. Oh, the reception from the car park, you know.
Yes.
From the outside, the car park, it was just pure love,
it's
man.
It's amazing. It's tremendous
love, man. The outpouring of love, man.
Dr. Anthony may have voluntarily relinquished the leadership of the Labour Party, but he is held in such high esteem and high regard.
Oh, man.
You know, when Dr. Anthony, when there's Parliament, people still divide their time between real issues and the Parliament.
Yes,
but once you see he's the one who's speaking, again, you know, it's like you just see the views and
I'll be honest with you.
Drop, you know.
Once he comes on, everything stops.
Yes.
I need to listen because it's fine dining. Let me use that today.
Yes.
So yesterday when he walked in, you know what I mean, he parked and ooh, brother. I mean, I was like, ooh. Great stuff, great reception.
Yeah,
so
and anytime his name is called,
man.
Just the acknowledgement, there is applause. Ralph Gonzalez mentions him, they break into applause. He gets this award and so on.
Right.
You know, and they break into applause.
Yeah, so it was really touching, you know, to see that he still loves so much, and the outpouring of love for a man who led this country well.
Yes.
Regardless of the naysayers, you know, I mean, they try to paint him in the most unfavorable light, etc.
And they actually said that, you know. I mean, Osbert Dove actually said after the 2006 elections that he took over the campaign to manage the UWP's campaign, and one of the things he told him was forget about everybody else. Focus on Ken Anthony, the leader, hitting him, putting blows on him, criticizing him and so on. And I said, wow, you know, he admitted that.
Yeah. But as Shelton, as I've told you before, I think we have to, at some point, you know, discuss that. Because people say history will be kind to Dr. I don't want history to be kind to Dr. I want us now, in the present, you know, to highlight what he has done, his legacy.
Yes.
You know, before he is gone. I mean, we'll all go, but before he is gone, we need to do that, because that's a man who has done great stuff, man. Great stuff for the country. And I believe, our present Prime Minister is riding on that too. The foundation laid by Dr. Anthony, he cannot deny, and he admits that too, you know.
Yes.
He pays homage to Dr. Anthony for having him in his cabinet and schooling him. And you know, the things that was sown into him as a politician, and we've seen that now. They had to go. But yesterday was tremendous. I met a lot of people I had not seen for a while. It was great. I met real issues people. You understand? Some of them were very nice in the warm in the greetings. You know, made me feel at home and down in the south. You know, I must take a drive there more often. But it was showtime. You know, we went to the red meat and the Comrade Ralph. I mean, you heard his presentation.
Most of it, yes. I was not there physically, but
you heard it.
I heard most of it, and some parts of it stood out for me.
Stood out. Now I'm going to. He listed similarities between the Labour parties in the Caribbean, and I think he gave six. Let me say it. 6 fingers, so to speak, and maybe we can delve in that before we go into the Prime Minister's. Oh God. Now, if you think that was Gomi, you should have heard.
Yes,
I mean, it was vintage.
Yes, I did hear the Prime Minister.
Yeah,
yes.
You know, there's a song by this guy, Bunji Garlin. When I come down, you know, the words will come to me in a while there. That's the Prime Minister, man. He came down, and this one, the caller to our program was like, wow. That was pure class. There was no mipui. There was no ad hominem attacks on anybody. There was no reference, obliquely or otherwise, to any. He was dealing with the meat of the issues. And I think I have some of the notes.
Yes.
Now, listeners and viewers, forgive me, because, you know, when you are at these conferences and you're outside of the guys, you know what it's like. Philano, you want a boy? You're doing and you're talking and you're sagaciating and you're socializing and stuff there. But I'm trying in all of that, you know, not to be impolite, because, you know, we meet once in a while, trying to take some notes quickly.
And to focus.
So
and some people, they don't understand and they don't take kindly to it, and they think you are being standoffish and
stuff. So you don't want to do that, because they can take offense, and when somebody is offering you, you don't want to. You do that. You politely accept it.
Even at political meetings, you may come there for a different purpose, because you really want to take in what's being said. A lot of people come to a political meeting; it's a socializing thing for them.
It's alive.
You know, they're talking to you,
but support. It's alive,
and you have to learn to balance it.
Yes. So I quickly scribble down. So if you see I'm disjointed all over the place, forgive me. I mean, you could call in and correct and put things in perspective, because, as I told you, on the outside there, when you meet friends, you don't ignore them. You have to entertain and socialize. But I was trying. So he was talking about, well, he described himself, you know, as a rebel. You know, in his younger days, and he gave a little history of, you know, the Cold War, etc., and doing things, you know, as a rebel, you know, being expelled from countries and putting on the next spin back. But he says he's still a rebel, but he's a wiser rebel now. He's a rebel with more sense, you understand, more understanding, more experience. So he knows how to navigate and do things, etc. And he was calling on the party faithful, you know, to rally with the Prime Minister, and he gave something. He gave some points that 6 points. I said fingers. You know why I'm saying fingers? How you call it? I'm the OKEU. The six.
That's what we call it.
The 6 fingers. And that's a bombshell.
Some people say wing, but you know, as we know, the way it is thing is like it is like a hand that has fingers going out. It was supposed to have had 5. They cut it down, reduce it to 4, like everything else. You know, they're always trying to see what they can, if not curtail, to mash it up. You know.
Right. So, Comrade Ralph was on point. You know, and he gave the 6 fingers, and let me just try to articulate them quickly, and maybe, if I from memory, the vision. I'm going to come back. The philosophy. Leadership, policies, programs, and I think there's something I'm missing. I know there's something I'm missing. So that's 5. I think he gives 6. So I don't know if one of you are out there, you could type it in quickly. But you started the vision. All right. Now you know our vision. Our Prime Minister, he ran on a campaign of putting people first. You know that not a funny thing, huh? You know, right now, and
the other vision, he tell them to keep your eyes
on the prize.
Yes.
Because we come in.
Yes. Yes.
We come in. You understand? Let me just send something there too. Okay, sorry about that. Listen. So we come in. So the vision, our vision, and I notice it is being copied, you know. Because I told you already, Philip J. Pierre is running. Well, like I say, party is a side. The side has tried to copy it, you know. What they have there, people focus, country, some version of putting you first. So, Comrade spoke about the vision, because he's saying about the similarities between all the Labour parties in the Caribbean. You understand? All of them have a clear vision, and our vision is clear: putting you first. It is people centered. The side tried to copy that, but we're not talking about the side. I'm just showing you that this thing is so effective. It resonates with people, with the masses. People are seeing that indeed the Prime Minister has that vision, and everything he's doing is tailored to putting you first. You are at the center. I remember in education, we had that kind of vision too. That policy from when Mario, the Honorable Mario Michel, how you call him, his worship now, his lordship, and Didicus was in. The school is the center of focus. But that was radical, that was a paradigm shift. And trust me, it was the school. It was not about the education offices, etc. The school is the center of focus. Everything has to come out. These days, everything goes down to this. No, it's the other way around. And there was a policy, a paradigm shift. And there was actually measures and policies. And that's the days when we had Baka. I always tell people that, I'm sorry for all Mario, Didicus, and Fortuna Anthony. When we had Baka, the school was the center of focus. So you see, I think that's a philosophy born out deep within the bosom of the Labour Party. It's people-centric. Putting you first. People-centered. And Brother Ralph talked about that. Looking after the masses and elevating them. And that is resonating now because Philip J. Pierre and the administration, it is clear. Because when we begin to delve into the speech delivered by the Prime Minister, the gourmet meal that was served up, if Comrade Ralph was the appetizer, oh God.
All right, okay. We 1 o'clock already.
Missy?
Yeah, let's take a break.
Oh,
I know you want to cover the whole world, but what's the
All
time?
right, we'll take
the clock is a vengeance. It's coming for you.
Yes,
but before we go for the break, good day, Shelton. Please inform your viewers and listeners that the 2 terms of UWP, and they have that in quote marks, representation in VF4 South, were both obtained by nefarious means, as history will remind us. The first one was when it was all right in the morning, and the next one was facilitated by the well-orchestrated UWP-led decimation of the SLP 1979 administration, and the party by extension giving UWP an unfair advantage. These are the undeniable facts. Now, let me also say that the person who told me that they felt Josie should have stayed in East where he could still have Keppel and Zico at bay, they also felt that if he had run Bruce again, that Bruce could have pulled it off in Vieux-Fort. That Eldred Stevens was so unknown, he was so, who's this guy? Unremarkable, not having any kind of track record or any kind of history behind him to talk about. I don't know if that's true, but they felt that Bruce could have held on to Vieux-Fort South and Josie could have held on to East. So rather than just the 2 seats that the Labour Party came through, namely Labrie and Vieux-Fort North, strongholds again, that the Labour Party could have had at least 4 seats in the 82 election. But the Labour Party was done in by a lot of self-inflicted. But I just wanted to mention that. And another one, an ex-teacher now retired, says it was nice seeing Mr. Fenelon in person after such a long time. Right?
Yeah, it was nice.
So you figure how many people would have seen you and would have happy. All right, this is the real issues. We take a break. When we come back, Terry will continue walking us through yesterday's grand conference of delegates of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party in Bellevue, Vieux-Fort North.
Yeah, all right.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there will be a following week for cytology testing. We also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
I don't want to go off topic because I have my not guest but co-host who I want to give him as much of the program as possible because he always comes well prepared with a lot of material. But I'll just drop one line. There is a lawyer in St. Lucia, and this is not the first time you have heard me saying so, who needs to be investigated and some kind of disciplinary process opened against that lawyer for unethical behavior. And that unethical behavior is persuading people to go and speak to an individual who has already announced, not just threatened, that he is bringing lawsuits against certain people, and to persuade those people to go and speak to him in a manner where they will be putting themselves in legal jeopardy. No lawyer should encourage or facilitate this, especially when it is clear, based upon the pronouncements, based upon the grandstanding and the loud mouthing by that individual of what he's going to do and tips that he has. It appears that that lawyer is facilitating the individual to engage in a pattern of willful and deliberate entrapment of the very people that he has announced he is going to sue. There must be lawyers in St. Lucia who understand what I'm talking about, who know how wrong this is on all counts. Some of the people that this lawyer is coaxing, some of the people that he's nudging, that he's pushing to go and talk to that individual, to their own legal peril. And when they're being recorded, it seems without their knowledge, much less their consent. That lawyer, it seems, has represented some of those people that he's making do that. So he has a kind of a history of a relationship, of communication, of goodwill with them. And it looks like his technique is to tell him, it's just talk he wants to talk. No harm done in talking to somebody. He just wants to have a chat with you to see, where you stand, what's your position on this and that. And all the while, from what we are hearing, that malevolent individual is recording people surreptitiously, secretly, without their knowledge and so on. This is deliberate entrapment, I think it is called in law. No lawyer should be... Now, why would he be doing that for somebody? Likely because the person is offering or giving him a reward greater than he's getting from those people as former clients or present clients or associates. Somebody needs to look into this. It cannot be more unethical than that. The whole matter of professional ethics and integrity needs to be looked at in respect of this lawyer. And I'll say no more on it, because I tired of putting myself like Wavet Liverpool, and the people, regardless of what side they on, whether Flambeau, SLP or no side, they should not have knowledge that this kind of thing is taking place and hold their peace. Terry Fenelon, over to you.
Yes, thank you. So, Comrade Ralph gave the 6 fingers, or 5. Well, I know I'm missing a finger. Somebody might give them. So the vision, and all the Labour parties across the Caribbean have a clear vision. We all have a clear vision. And you could see that vision being brought to fruition. In our case, our vision under our Prime Minister, putting you first. It's people-centered. And everything is aimed at achieving that vision. And that is why I think the other side, is so discombobulated, so to speak, because they cannot touch us on policy and programs, so they revert to ad hominem attacks and preaching violence and come on demonstrate. I don't know what they're going to demonstrate against. They're demonstrating against themselves. Second finger he spoke about is a philosophy steeped in social democracy. You understand? And he went, bread, freedom, justice. Bread, freedom, justice. That is at the core of the Labour Party.
Right.
And when you see the programs being rolled out, it's about bringing bread. It's not champagne for all, but it's not champagne for a few, but it's water for all. Portable water. In other words, the pie is equally. And Comrade Ralph was heavy on that, making sure that we elevate the poor, because we're always going to have them with us. You understand? So the bread, the freedom, the justice. And he said something there, and Labour Party supporters must all remember that, because sometimes we get too impatient. Sometimes you have to understand everything. Like I was speaking to a guy on the beach, and his road. Comrade Girard already has the budgetary allocation, but you see this fellow now. I said patience, but it's already allocated. He's admitting, that the thing is there. And Comrade Ralph said something. Never let perfection be the enemy of the good. I want that to resonate,
Say again.
Even while I was having a little something to drink there and sagaciating outside there, that triggered me, so I had to write that down. Do not let perfection be the enemy of the good. Sometimes we always want things to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, we criticize and we tend to be
hypercritical of our own.
That's right.
If it is not absolutely and we not perfect, we ourselves train to pick at any fault, and we invent faults, and we impose interfaults on everything and so on, and we find fault, and we're hypercritical usually with our own. Any little thing that is said and I think viewers, listeners, every Labour, you have to put
store that somewhere. Write it down. Put it on your phone as your header.
Yes.
Do not let perfection be the enemy of the good, because too much good is happening.
Yes.
Yet some people are complaining because my road is not yet fixed. But hello, we can't do 1,000 roads one time.
Politics, as I think my friend Inch always points out, maybe somebody else. It's always so personal. It's always who gets what.
Yes.
And we need to guard against that, because I think Comrade Wolf mentioned that.
Yeah.
That some people who begin to get hypercritical of the party, they on Facebook, they on social media.
Before anything.
Simply because something that they wanted that is personal. Some job, so not even for themselves, for a relative, for their FL, for somebody like that they wanted, some scholarship, whatever, that's not forthcoming.
That's
and right away, they're on social media. Me, I'm not voting again. I this and that. And now once you see you're a supporter and you begin to talk about you not voting again,
that's a problem.
You are by insinuation being injurious.
And Ralph said that when you do that, it's 2 votes we lose in there,
Yeah.
You're taking one from us, and by not voting, you're giving them one.
Oh, yeah, honestly.
So that the math have to math.
Yes.
But I want you all to write that down from Comrade Ralph. That was solid. That was so fundamental. Do not let perfection be the enemy of the good. This Labour administration is doing too much good. So much is happening, and we not even. I'm not even on the Prime Minister's speech. Yes, you understand? And he made a point. We can't denigrate our Caribbean civilization. Can't forget the past. The past is just a recent past. We saw where we came from 2016, 2021, and we have to keep that in our memories, because we cannot let that repeat itself. Otherwise, it's disaster. Conrad, he spoke about vision, philosophy, and he spoke about leadership. And we know, Stanley Lucian described the Prime Minister as the most transformative Prime Minister we have had. He was very definite. He said, I'm going to put my neck on the line.
Yes.
Because, anytime you praise something, people believe, you are getting something. Or if you're going to praise the government, well, boy, you are a hack and you dismissive. He says, I don't care. I'm going to say it. And yes, I am going to repeat it. Philip J. Pierre is the most transformative Prime Minister that we have had for a while. And he gave examples. He says, look at the CCJ. Man, that took gonads. The CCJ.
Yes.
And now, as we're on the CCJ, the next step the Prime Minister has to do at some point in time is take off from under the monarchy.
Republic.
Go to a republic.
Do you know, I was reading something, I don't know how authentic it is, that even the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank in the next
the notes,
will begin moving
all those
that's right. British monarch,
and somebody says she hopes Julian Alfred will be on one of the notes.
So
the currency, yes.
We already have Sir Athel
because
Ritz, on pictured on it.
Well,
we have the great Derek
Walcott already, yes.
Julian Alfred now, come on.
Lafond in Dominica. And we have to recognize us.
Yes.
When you stand up in the House of Parliament taking your oath, it should be, I pledge allegiance to the people of St. Lucia. Not I pledge allegiance to His Majesty. What's that? You understand? So leadership, and Stanley was making the point that he's transformative, and he gave the example of taking us to the CCJ, which took guts. You understand? He heard the noises, etc. But he was, and I always maintain, leadership is about doing the right thing, not about doing things right.
Yes.
That's management, because you could manage corruption rightly,
Yeah, of course, yes.
You could manage to be corrupt correctly.
Yes.
Doing, it's about doing the right thing, and the right thing was to take us to the CCJ. The right thing was to implement the minimum wage. Transformative. You know how many lives will be transformed, uplifted, upgraded? You know what I mean? This person's making $600 a month. Could now have a little something to buy, and a little excess money,
right.
Disposable income that goes back. The businessman, you'll not lose, because that money will be spent. So there'll be economic activity.
Exactly.
So that's transforming the landscape, and that's leadership. Not a leader who comes in there and he wants to mutilate our history. That's what Comrade Ralph said. Because he comes in there like he's a know-it-all. And it's my way or the highway. And he just does things vi-ki-vi. No consultation, no planning, no thought. What's the end game going to be? Just febarai, nipot money. No, leadership is counting the cost.
As he reportedly told staff at the Soufre, what was it?
The square.
Foundation or whatever. After 2006, I understand, when he came in, he met with staff of the, was it the Heritage Tourism or something like that? And he reportedly said to them in a meeting that he called 3 things he wants to set, as conditions of his interaction with them. Don't question him. Don't second guess him, and don't try to help him.
Yes.
I know I have all this figured out already.
Yes.
So don't come and make any suggestions to me. Don't come and question what I.
I know it all.
I know it all. When I heard that, when the person told me, he said, I thought differently of this guy from the moment we had that meeting. And the guy looked at us and he said to us 3 things he's going to tell us. Don't question him. Don't second guess him, and don't try to help him.
Right. So these are the guys who will desecrate our future, because had this guy remained there, the future would have been grim.
Yeah.
The policies, you understand? Yes, Comrade Pele said, not every Labour Party is progressive. Yeah, we understand that, Jamaica, but we're speaking in general terms here. The progressive ones, those who align themselves properly.
Right.
Who fraternize. There's a fraternity, a brotherhood, and they consult and they discuss, and we move forward together. Pell, there's always an outlier. We're not with the outliers now, right?
Yeah.
We're with those who are together.
Oh, you got the same message I got from the comrade?
Yes, but it's on my phone there, so I cannot really read.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
but let me just read what the comrade said.
Yes.
Just as a matter of interest and clarification, comrades, not every Labour Party in the Caribbean is progressive or in the mold of the Unity Labour Party, the St. Lucia Labour Party, etc. Ralph made that clear.
Yes.
The Jamaica Labour Party, for example, Wholeness Party, which to me just has the name Labour from history and evolution, okay? The party of Bustamante and all of that, The Jamaica Labour Party, for example, saw that PM going all the way to Miami to discuss anti-Venezuela and anti-Cuba issues with Donald Trump. Shastney was also disgracefully in that meeting.
We know that. We know that. Yes, we know that.
And we also have to realize in the evolution of parties, sometimes the leadership of a party changes. For example, the Antigua Labour Party under the Birds, I don't think was held in that kind of regard or respect.
Yes.
But it has evolved now under the leadership of Gaston Brown. I think it has embraced the different ethos of a younger person, of someone who doesn't come from the family-centered, family-owned political establishment of the Birds that is open. To the extent that lately we've seen a lot of people leaving the opposition. Prominent people. When you had names like Edmund Mansour and so on resigning, from the United Progressive Party to join up, with the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, that there is a new political philosophy and ethos that is being advanced.
So let me lump the other two. The policies and the programs of the Labour Party must be geared towards uplifting the poor and the marginalized. And Comrade Ralph was big on that. He the man went biblical, at some point.
I heard him.
The man was able to apply the Bible correctly, copiously
quoting.
Not like some people who say I'm a Bible student and the heart is anything but
people
Christ-like.
People who know that God must have been influenced and overpowered to choose Philip J. Pierre. There's no way God could have made that
wicked man,
free will and accord. God doesn't need free will and accord. He's sovereign.
When a Bible man can tell me, you're on the pulpit and then a guy like Frank who worked 5 years, everything is in order, and you refuse to pay him. He has his family to look after you. You refuse to pay him. You're like Pharaoh. Your heart is so hard and vindictive. And then you tell me you're a student of the Bible. Where people, you must reject that kind of rhetoric.
Or when you come out rightfully condemning slander, but you are
slandering people left, right, and center, calling the president retarded, wicked, nasty. And you're a student of the Bible. But Ralph applied the text very correctly. He spoke about the virgins, etc. And so the programs and the policies of our party must be geared towards uplifting the poor and the marginalized. And he spoke about that. And that is what we are doing now. You understand? Well, I say we because although I'm not yet a card-carrying member of the party, but I say we because that aligns with my philosophy. You understand? And Philip J. Pierre, the vision again being realized, putting people first. So we build with the resources, we don't, and he said, and he told the Labour Party that, all the time you're on Facebook spewing nonsense, do not eat the bread of idleness. Because that's what happens, when perfection, you think perfection is the enemy. Well, you're demonstrating it is the enemy of the good. You idle. And you feed it into negativity. The Prime Minister spoke about that in his opening salvo. The negativity. We'll get to that at some point if you have time. You understand? So, the programs and the policies must. And he says, let's not do like the Levites and these people. You know what I mean? In labor, we must be, is love. The sheep and the goats, the love of labor. You must assist our neighbor. When you have, like I said, that's what Philip J. Pierre is doing. When the Lord blesses you, when you are being blessed, you don't build a bigger wall or a bigger fence.
Right.
What you do, you build a bigger table. And that's what Ralph basically, was saying, as Labour Party people, we have to help one another. We have to assist and help elevate our brothers and sisters, because we want to win the Flobos, we want them over. So we're not going to chase you all, and that's why I want you all to analyze your platform of lacking of substance, lacking anything constructive. All I heard is that this Lopo guy, who are we going to give the Prime Minister? That's a policy.
Yeah.
You're going to give everything is violence on a platform. We're going to give him bad guy. You understand? And one guy saying, "Yeah, if you touch me,
But not
touch
only
you."
The leader himself. What did he go and say? Flog them. They need to be flogged. They need to be publicly flogged. Can you imagine? A man does not have political smarts, does not have political sensitivity, does not have empathy to understand that when you say that, it's not just you're a white man.
Yeah.
The history that we've been through, the journey that we have traveled to, hear a white man coming and stand and talking about predominantly black people, Philip J.P. and so on, need to be publicly formed. This man doesn't know what he's bringing back to our minds. This man doesn't understand the history, that he's recalling in us and so on. I mean, come on.
So I want them to analyze, and as the Prime Minister has correctly said, when things get better, as they will, because in his address he mentioned that 3 years of economic growth, and all the indicators are showing that we are on path for another 5% economic growth. Wow, that's tremendous, coming from a decline of almost 24.5%, and he has stabilized the economy to the point where we have had 3 years of continuous growth, and we're looking at a fourth year with 5%. And he says, man, when things are better, I'm not going to build a bigger wall. It's not going to be champagne for the few, but I'm going to enlarge the table, a larger table, a bigger table, and that's what Comrade Ralph was talking about.
Right.
You understand? We're going to ensure that we elevate and we help each other in love. When he says, don't let the Prime Minister do it alone, he can't walk alone.
Exactly, I heard that.
He's not doing it alone, he can't walk alone.
Yes.
So we have to work with him.
You have to work. You have to do
work.
Things. You have to contribute.
We can't be
to the
idle,
effort.
correct. No faction,
Don't
no
expect
vision.
him to just be a miracle worker.
Correct.
Who will just get everything done
one time. Yeah.
Your participation is required.
Right, correct. No unrealistic expectations. Somebody just wrote that is correct. You understand? So, government is all about chance, and that's true. Lottery every now and then, especially when you had a figure big, 1 million, 800,000, everybody playing, you're taking a chance. We can no longer afford to take chances with our country. We can no longer afford to take chances with the future of our children and our grandchildren. We cannot leave that to chance. We have before us the tale of two prime ministers, Jacqueline. We have the tale of two prime ministers. I was tempted to change and say the tale of two parties, but that would be wrong because we have one political party and one side.
Yeah.
So there's no
it's no contest. Yeah, it's no contest. It's no comparison.
We have a party with a structure, with structures, etc. And we have a side with a man that owns the ball and he's just picking people. So we can't make any comparison there. We can't contrast that. So it's the two prime ministers. Unfortunately, he was our prime minister at one point, so we cannot deny that. But we've seen the difference. We've seen a man who is champagne for a few, and we've seen one who is saying, no man, I'm enlarging the table. I'm building a bigger table. I am broadening the scope because I want to divide the pie and I want everybody to share in the spoils of the country. And Brother Ralph was big on that. You understand? He says, we're taking no chances. One comment here he made again. If you look forward to the past, because there are some people doing that, your future is behind you. And comrades, those listening, including the Flobo people who are listening, our future is not behind us. Our future with Philip JP and the St. Lucia Labour Party is rosy, except, as the Prime Minister tells you, he doesn't sleep at night worrying if, that climate change thing, because when these hurricanes come, they take everything, and, you have to build from scratch, and that we have to guard against. But as long as we are doing what we are doing, as long as we're connecting, and that's what he's doing, he's connecting. That's why these guys are so desperate. They can't see, their viewers, I told you already that the halls of justice blocking their view to Parliament. So they can't see a way forward. And so they have to resort to all kinds of ad hominem attacks and so on. So Brother Ralph gave us wonderful dessert. You understand? Wonderful. And then we come to the meat of the matter. The meat, the heavy meat. I mean, it was vintage. It was vintage Philip JP, if I may say that. Okay, if I may call him that way.
I'll tell you what, you'll get into that after the break. It's already 1:30.
All right.
This is The Real Issues. Don't go away.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there will be a following week for the cytology testing. We also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and an abnormal cytology shall be referred to the colposcopy clinic. At that clinic, we shall assure that you get the proper treatment and guidance.
So come in and access this new service. Your health is our priority.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Hey, hey, ha. Find the water's high. Hey, 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 ma. Well, every time I show up, everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag them go up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. When we are
What's up? Sorry about that. Sorry about that, listeners.
Comrade Fenelon, everything blew up.
Yes,
Bungie Garlin. You wanted that episode that tune. Tell us.
I just hope we're not flagged, because every time the Prime Minister mounts the stage, he blows up the place.
All right.
And yesterday when he mounted that, everything, the whole place blew up.
The whole place shell down.
Yeah, shell down. People might say Shelton.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's one of my favorite tunes, by Bungie, because every time I listen to this, I think of the Prime Minister. You understand? When he mounts the stage and he delivers, and yesterday he delivered, he blew up the place, and it was, man, stroke after stroke after stroke after stroke. It was like Brian Lara batting there and caressing things to the boundary. First of all, I must comment, there was no mipri. He doesn't respond to the foolishness of the other side. Call him nasty, call him wicked, call him retarded. That's what fellas like me and Shelton to take on. And we will address that, at some point. Don't think we forget that, huh?
That's right.
Today is not the day for that. Today is the day after.
Yes.
The night before. After being fed a diet of lobster and caviar and steak. You understand? So we're dissecting that. So don't worry, we're coming for you all, because when you call the Prime Minister names, we can call you. Well, we will not call you names, but we will deal with you. So yesterday, Shelton, the Prime Minister mounted the stage. Oh, let me open this there again. And it was vintage Philip J. Pierre. Wow. It was vintage. I mean, listeners and viewers, we'll give you a chance to call in, because I know a lot of you were there. You listened, you heard. I heard some of you calling. I'm standing this morning and stuff. While I happen to be listening to another. I just happened to. I'm listening to another talk show, and I had to send him a message because he couldn't believe that somebody will call the Prime Minister nasty. And so I said, man, I'm shocked at you. You had the PRO there, he was dancing and bobbing when people were tackling him on your show, but you're denying. Okay, but that's for another show.
Yes.
But the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, vintage. And you could make that tune your tune too, And every time you hear, I come, just think of the Prime Minister. Remember I gave you the quote. The quote I gave you from Ralph, I forgot it already.
Yeah.
I forgot that, the mind has that, when you see when you have completed a task, it deletes it from your memory.
Yes.
It deletes it from your memory. But
and it better helps you to cope with what would otherwise be information overload.
Yes, right, or information overload. But listen, the Prime Minister was vintage. He came in and he dealt with the negativity in terms of, he says, the misinformation, the lies. And he's telling us, listen, don't involve, because we know if people are desperate, things are happening, and the Prime Minister is releasing bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. If it's not one program there, if it's not one project, there's another one there. And so these fellas, they are totally confused and bamboozled. And the only response is violence and lies and misinformation. So the Prime Minister warned us about this lies and misinformation and told us to keep on track.
Yes, because the technique is this lies and misinformation and disinformation, it is being presented with such brazenness.
That's right.
With such effrontery, that people will assume it is correct. Otherwise, they cannot believe anyone would come forward and say something so outrageously untrue.
Yeah.
That they would have the audacity to come and say this thing. But that is exactly the technique.
Yes.
If I come and I tell you a lie, and I tell it to you with boldness, I tell it to you with confidence, I tell it to you like, oh boy, I have absolute conviction. What I am doing now is that I am overpowering your natural inborn disbelief, your natural inborn skepticism, because you say to yourself, this guy would not come and say that like that unless there is some truth to it.
Yes.
That is what they're doing. By outrageous audacity and so on, they want to make you believe it cannot be anything but the truth. Otherwise, I would not come and say it. Well, let me tell you something, my friend. It ain't crazy, they crazy, they calculated. They know exactly what they are doing.
Correct.
What they're doing is that they're blowing away, your skepticism and your disbelief with the boldness, whether pretended or real, that they come with those things. That's what they're doing.
So he came in there and he dealt with this, and he gave, he put it in context and the background and the economy inherited. We know that tanking at 24.5.
All the debts that you still have to pay.
The fifth worst not in the OECS, you know, in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of all the countries, we were so. I mean, and you heard it. The country is broke.
Yeah.
And somebody told me I must update the list of the wastage. And yes, I forgot the box. 118 million. So when you tally that, it's over $500 million of wastage. I'll circulate that because there is more. You understand? The wastage. So he spoke about corruption because, you know, that's the thing. That's the that's the in thing now for the politicians and the operatives. Corruption. Yeah. And this guy Hile and this guy. They can't tell you what Hile has done, you know. Yeah. They don't know about Range Rover. And I could tell you, I'll be honest, I spoke to one of the most knowledgeable controllers of customs. And I say that guardedly, because you hear that from the customs officer itself, the one who released the Range Rover. And I asked him, because to be clear and to be fair, they say he's the most, and he's about the most knowledgeable one for true, all the customs officer. He told me, Terry, that's a nothing booger. It's much ado about anything, and he told me, because this guy there, and I must admit, he's my brother. All right, and then I was satisfied. The man did not owe any money. I mean, he's a returning diplomat, etc. So you heard one of the bodybuilders, this guy is corrupt. Saying somebody's corrupt doesn't make somebody corrupt.
Yeah, he's a loan to himself and all this kind of thing, you know.
You have to prove.
That's basically parroting the talking
points. That's the talking points. So and the minister is and the prime minister has been very open, man. Show me one that is corrupt and I'll fire him. And that's Philippe Pierre.
Yeah.
You understand? Prove it. Every week is a bombshell. You know, anybody who works at CIP is corrupt.
It's a bombshell. It's scandalous. It's shocking.
I heard the president of the Lawyers Association, the bar. I don't know if she's corrupt. That's what they wrote.
Yeah.
Somebody else, he's corrupt.
Once you do not agree with them, their talking points and some, you're corrupt.
And then a bombshell.
Governor of the Eastern Central Bank.
He was paid to speak on behalf of the government.
If governor of a central bank and that means he's corrupt as hell too. Yeah.
So he spoke about the economy tanking 24.5% in GDP, the largest drop in the Caribbean. But what has he done? With a steady hand, because you know that's a real economist there. With a steady hand, proper policies and fiscal initiatives and monetary initiatives, we have bounced back in no time. And you saw Honorable Richard Frederick on Thursday, where somebody in Kitts was saying, but how come St. Lucia has bounced back so rapidly and we are struggling? Yes. We had 800,000 visitors, this and that and the other, and we're not seeing it. You see, but Philippe Pierre, he's a magician.
And he accepts people to help him.
Oh, yes.
He accepts people to ask him questions, to answer them and so on. He doesn't think he
I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. He says, I mean, he speaks to Peter Kane, Richard.
Yes.
I don't think Richard Peterson is Peter Kane is a Labour man. I don't know his politics, but I know he's a man who loves St. Lucia.
Yes.
And everything about this man, well, the only thing about this comedy, sometimes I laugh, sometimes I don't laugh. But this guy I know loves St. Lucia. And he says it like it is. Sometimes you don't like what he says, but it's the truth. You have to accept it. And I was like, but he consults Richard Peter Kane, and he consults other people. So he listens, he knows. And he always says, man, I don't know everything. I have to listen to the technocrats. I have to listen to people who know. Not like a man who says, don't tell me anything. I don't want you to second guess me.
Yes.
I know it all.
Yes.
Just know your place. I will do it and you will follow.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, you have to submit. So, 3 years of continuous growth, and we're on the trajectory for 5%.
Quite true.
In this year. Remarkable. And you heard it from the ECCB?
Yes,
was
Timothy Antoine.
Timothy Antoine. What's his title again?
Governor.
The governor. Sorry, yes.
Bank,
of the central bank. St. Lucia is doing well. We're in good hands. And you heard Richard Frederick say at one of the cabinet meetings, the people at the Treasury and the Finance Department said, the country is being well managed. These are the technocrats who know their stuff. I mean, they were sidelined by, the fellow who owns the ball. They were sidelined by the side.
Right.
But these guys are allowed. When you allow, one thing I've learned as a manager, as a leader, People, and that's just a talk. That's not vain talk, you know. When you allow people to function, things run smoothly. You understand? I can speak from experience. I had a very, very, very good staff, and there were those who just run with things. I was just say, and making sure it's nobody steps up, you know. And they just, that's not a joke, you know. When you empower your staff and your people and you let them function as they ought to function, man, you have a smooth operation. You don't have to worry.
Exactly.
And I think Philip JP has understood that. You allow the people and the officials and the technocrats to function properly. Well, if anybody is trying to sabotage things for political reasons, you deal with them most condignly, okay? But when you see that you allow them to run things and they do it within the law, that's what you get.
And you're somebody you're trained to spot competence.
Yes.
Competence.
I mean, you have people like Emma, there was a forensic auditor and everything. I mean, and one of the things I have to play for you is that speech by Emma, and we'll come to that.
Yes.
So,
but bear in mind it's quarter to
oh my God. No, I think it'll be fair. We may have to come back to to flesh out the speech because here he laid before you bare everything that he's doing, everything that he will do,
including the things that will be financed by the much maligned.
Could you play that video, just one, and then we'll take calls, Shelton, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
About the St. Jude.
Yeah,
just play that one because that has them.
The CIP funds, how they will be all the people who did about who stole 1.4 billion and all of that.
Yes.
And the Prime Minister says that this fifth finger or wing of OKU will be funded by CIP.
And very
he tells you that so and so will be funded by CIP. He mentioned about three things.
Yeah, let's play that for those who are not listening and not around. Yes.
Yeah. To hear me carefully so you can tell the world that your government will also commence the expansion of the OKEU hospital. We are going to build the fifth finger on the OKEU hospital. And we are going to build it with what? CIP funds. So you see why? You see why they're attacking CIP? You to hear me carefully so you can tell the world that your government will also commence the expansion of the OKEU hospital. We are going to build the fifth finger on the OKEU hospital. And we are going to build it with what? CIP funds. So you see why? You see why they're attacking CIP?
Yes, you see why they're attacking CIP? You see why they are mad?
Because they are afraid that CIP will be used to accomplish things that will be a feather or feathers in the cap.
So they want to demonstrate against CIP.
Yes.
They want to demonstrate against progress. You understand? So the Prime Minister now is not using CIP funds for nefarious things. I mean, he's, as one journalist said, he's the most transformative Prime Minister we have had, and maybe in the Caribbean, because he's taking steps to alleviate, take us up, build us up. And people do not like that. But he is keeping his eyes on the prize. And he'll ask us, let us remain focused. Because we come in. We are coming in. I mean, we come in big time, you know. We are playing. So when you see they're trying all manner of Jimmy flicks to try and derail us, we focus. And Comrade Ralph told you so. Keep focused. You can't be sidetracked. I gave you the phrase a while ago. I forgot it. For some reason, my mind deleted that. It could be the whiskey. You understand? We come in. We are focused. We'll take calls. Jacquan, you'll open the lines.
Yes.
We are focused. And so they want to fight down progress. You can't fight down progress. You can't beat people, you know. People, people, he grew up in Cashris East, you know, school of hard knocks. And worse yet, he went to a proper school, a high school. You understand? So he has it from both sides. So he's focused. You know, like what the Bible says, you have to keep your mind like flint.
Put your face like
flint.
Yeah.
Put your face like flint. Keep steady. You know what you want to do? Yes, it is the right thing, because leadership is about doing the right thing. That is the right thing.
Certainly.
Finishing St. Jude. You understand? That is the right thing to do. And no amount of negativity, lies, misinformation, and propaganda will derail you. The only thing that might derail him is a hurricane, or if the technocrats come and say, because he listens to, and he has made that clear. He does not know everything. He knows finance. More than the fellow with the ball.
Right.
So he can, as you correctly said, he can spot when something not to right, and he goes say, fellas, how do we correct that? You understand? He knows finance. So he can do that. But when it comes to construction and engineering, you know, there's a fellow was a minister of Tulbagay.
That's right.
He went to bed one night, he woke up, he won his seat, and he was a minister of Tulbagay. Engineer, doctor, forensic auditor.
Mashing up.
I
think we better condemn that whole West Wing or East Wing and just build a new wing. And, you know,
So, we're on the right track. Now, I think we have to dedicate a program just to looking at the Prime Minister's delivery, you know, vintage Gallon, vintage Peep, and we have to do that. So, if there are any calls, Jacquan, we will take them as we go along. But the Prime Minister, let me pull that up there. I had it there. I let it slide. So he spoke about corruption, and you know, he always says that he abhors corruption, and that's the thing. That is the thing that they cannot do. You know, imagine one conman telling another conman, "So you see that Prime Minister? They don't even try nothing there because we ain't go get nothing there." A conman telling another conman that, you know. Can you believe that?
Yes.
I mean, a conman will try to con everybody, but he realized the Prime Minister is unconable. If that's a word, you can't con him. You know, you can't, because all his political life, there's not been one whiff of corruption associated. He worked at infrastructure where they say all the bubble. Imagine they said one guy. Sorry, I'll not proceed with that. You know what I mean? Where they say all the corruption used to happen. He went there, and nothing was pointed at him. In all the other areas, commerce, tourism, where all he has worked, nothing. Not once you say, well, you see me discouraged because of X, Y, and Z. So he abhors that. And he has made it clear that if there's any corruption in his cabinet, whoever is responsible will go. And so everybody knows. So
and he said so to all the people. Present with, you know, any evidence they have.
And that is why I think, because Jason Sifley, I was telling somebody yesterday when he passed, boy, this is a guy, I really love his writing. I don't know, he has a knack for putting words properly, man, and connecting the dot. And he was there yesterday, and I remember that, you know what I mean? And he said so in one of his pieces. Philip J. Pierre, the Prime Minister, can do what he's doing because people are thieving money. Because corruption doesn't just, you know, it may get your pocket big, but it takes away money from the projects that you have to do.
Exactly.
So if you have 10 million to do a project and you still eat, you only have 2, you can't get far.
Yes.
So if nobody is, I'm using the word tiffin, you know, it's our vernacular. Personne pas voler rien. Bagay ka marcher bien. Ouais? You could pay down your debt, and you could like when they were, I must say that when they were saying there was $10 million for schools. Shelton, I'll tell you honestly, $10 million was spent. But as Ernest said in the house, $2 million on the Philip J. Pierre went further than that $10 million under that side. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to say anymore. I was in the belly of the beast. Okay? All right? And sometimes amongst ourselves we'll talk, but where's the work? What's going on? But you are braggadocio. We spent 10 million on school repairs. That is correct. 10 million left.
They gave $1 million to Carnival, and they're talking about who was getting the 1 million.
So the 10 million left the treasury for sure.
Yeah.
But Did we get?
We increased the
value?
budget. We increased the budget for so and so and so. Yeah, you increased the budget.
So when you don't steal from the treasury, you know, when you break up millions of dollars into $50,000 contracts, so that you don't get flagged by the by the Finance Act, and you give that to about 300 people. Some of them have multiple contracts. Nobody flags you.
Okay.
So you spend $20 million from the treasury, you know, but one man has about 10 contracts at $50,000 because, you know, the Finance Act, you circumvent the Finance Act. You understand? It's bubble. Are you right? Not that? So that's not happening anymore. So we have money to fix roads. You know, I see some roads in Ndrubu being fixed. I see these days where I pass in some places where I used to memorize where potholes were. I realize, that thing fix it and so. So you can do more because you have more money. The corruption is eliminated to a great extent. So Philip JPN knows that. All right. Then he spoke about inflation, and everybody wants to talk about the price. You know, one man even trying to incite people to go and demonstrate, as in Matnik, because they figure the price too high. Price too high. But, you know, supply chain issues, we know that. The 6% that the government was collecting at the excise tax, the Prime Minister has removed that. That's all he can do. The other thing is the CIF plus the importers markup.
Which you cannot eliminate those.
Right. Things. You control what we can control. You know, the price control goods and stuff. You understand? We have to do that.
I think we're getting a
call. Yeah, so that's okay. Let's take the call.
You announced that you were opening the lines and then you just continued. So at least somebody will squeeze in. It's 4 minutes to 2.
Oh my word.
Yeah. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real issues. Hello.
And my dear brother.
Hello. Caller, are you there?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes, Carlton. On Friday I mentioned the Phantom Project.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Oh well, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
I want to say how continually proud I am of our Prime Minister. Yeah, I think he had a long knock at the crease.
Right.
And during that long knock, he remained focused. His eyes was on that ball, and he was able to penetrate the gaps, and that ball was just flying for the boundary. I think the Prime Minister mean well. And the vision that he has is to elevate us as a people. And I think it is going to be a good thing to reinstate the other finger on the hospital. Because there have been many complaints, you know. And as the Prime Minister says, he doesn't want to engage in Roro, in Shikan. So he's looking to address that. And it is going to prove to us as a people that we have no choice but to give Philip J. Pierre a next term in office to continue the work. Because you see, as our comrades say, we cannot go back to the past. We cannot go back to Alan Shastey philosophy. Because if you go back to the past, that means we have learned nothing. We cannot go back to the dark days where things were being erected in the Constitution Park. So you cannot go by Parliament. You cannot go back to those days. So Philip J. Pierre, he needs our support. He needs us to defend him continually. We cannot just leave Philip J. Pierre body exposed. He's our leader. When he make a decision, we have to come out and support him and defend him. And I'm proud of Philip J. Pierre. I have voted for him in 2011. I have voted for him in 2016. I have voted for him in 2021. And come next election, I am going to vote for the Honorable Philip J. Pierre because he deserves our support. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, caller.
All right, Carlton, you were talking to him a while ago.
Yes, Carlton. I can speak. I gave you an example of one Phantom project. But let's take the call.
Let's take a final call. We have to make that
and I'll wrap up
one. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real issues.
Yeah, Shelton. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your guest, man.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
That's a very interesting gentleman, Mr. Fenano. I was watching your show Friday, and you came with some figures
Yes.
with respect to the expenses. I believe, Mr. Fellow, I believe we have to go far with that.
Yes.
We really have to, if we have to.
I'm going to update it.
Yeah, man, because you see, St. Lucians have a very narrow memory.
You have half a minute left.
Yes, now, briefly, just that. I want DPM to look for another food chain supermarket to have some competition here. Because see what happening in Martinique? We need another competition here. We need competition in this country. That's a monopoly we have, and massive stores are killing everybody in the region, including St. Lucia. More over than in St. Lucia, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Comrade,
Yeah.
we may have to come back to to flesh out the Prime Minister's speech and his programs.
Already? Okay.
So maybe I might have to make it tomorrow.
Yes, no,
because
not a problem.
To wrap up that, because what the Prime Minister, he was vintage Gallon, vintage PJP.
Not a problem.
I don't know if you could end with that there. I mean, I don't know, before the lottery.
Well, I don't know.
Vintage.
I don't know if he has
Check it
time,
out.
but he'll
People, make that song your song. Vintage PJP.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade. This has been the real issues for today. And as you know, the lotto comes in live, so we will make way for it and sign out until tomorrow, same time, 12:30 to 2.
Yes. Thank you, Comrade.
Well, every time I show up, everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag them go up. Everything blow up, everything.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The Ministry of Health has launched yet another service under universal health coverage. This new service includes conducting pap smears using liquid-based cytology, which will assist in eliminating cervical cancer.
This new method of conducting pap smears is more comfortable and more convenient. So ladies, contact your nearest wellness center to get to know about our pap smear clinics.
Turnaround time for HPV testing is 1 week. Any abnormal or positive test, there'll be a following week for cytology testing. We're also going to test for HPV strains 16 and 18, which are the most aggressive, which cause cervical cancer. We can also test for other STIs, such as herpes simplex type 1 and type 2, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and others.
Patients with an abnormal HPV and
or Lucky 3 Multi-X, 2X.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts.